Hi everyone, welcome to this webinar. I'm connecting here today from Banjalan country in the east coast of Australia. I would like to acknowledge the Arawak people as the custodian of this beautiful land. May their wisdom and knowledge be lived and passed on to the next generations to come. Welcome to our webinar, Master in Digital Transformation with No Code in Composable Software. I'm Maria Moradi, the founder of Changeability and your host for today. I'm thrilled to have seen some familiar faces and some new faces. I hope with this content we will create the understanding of digital transformation and the critical factors that influence in digital transformation. Before we start, digital transformation, it is a hot topic around the world, and there are a lot of governments around the world who are thinking about strategies. But it is worth to mention that Australia is here, have a different viewpoint of digital transformation, and is quite out there when it comes to defining digital transformation, providing funding to non-for-profit sector and government agencies to enable them to roll out new software and technologies into their organization. For example, EU or European Union focuses more on data sovereignty and integration of digital networks. With USA, their digital transformation strategy is more around keeping the leadership in digital technologies. And Australia here put a lot of efforts and focuses more into investment into a digital government and improving the digital infrastructure, especially for broadband. Why I'm mentioning that? Because especially for non-for-profit, Australia is out there to help organizations through fundings in the digital transformation strategy. We could see that in the last years. Aged care sector has been hugely funded through the Australian government to help them around the journey, which is wonderful and great to see. And I'm very happy and proud to be a part of this journey. We are a member of DT Sector Partners, which is organizational organized from Department of Aged Care and Transformation. Right now, they're discussing and developing an API for as a middleware system to connect different service providers in aged care and respite centers to allow them to connect their CRMs and their systems, reporting systems, to the governmental reporting system in order to collect data and have more a data-driven decision-making process. And I think that's comparing to other areas around the world when it comes to digital transformation. It's very innovative and fantastic to see, and I'm very happy to be part of this development. So when we will talk, as I said, in the around the success factors, digital transformation. And we were going to explore at the end also what does it mean to develop with no code, what are the evaluation criteria for that, how can we find the right platform, and last but not least, I will provide some insights in current client projects and past client projects and how we use no code and composability with a platform to build custom CRMs for non-for-profits and government sector. And at the end, we will come to a Q&A session, and I'm being happy to answer all your questions. Okay, so let's first explain a few buzzwords. Transformation is coming from Latin and means transformation, meaning changing of a shape. So a transformation is a fundamental change. Therefore, we can say digital transformation is the process of integrating digital technologies into all areas of the organization. fundamentally changing how it operates and delivers value to its customers and employees. And it involves the adoption of new skill sets. It involves adoption of new technologies, new business processes, and even it can affect the organizational culture. Good example is maybe here to mention a few years ago, working remotely and using Zoom and Teams to connect with colleagues and peers was reserved mainly for people like me working in software development and industry, but it was not widely known and used. And nowadays, it is more common that you're working remotely and using this kind of software to connect to your peers and colleagues. So, and that with that comes along a change also in organizational culture. There are already papers and research around how that can affect actually these kind of remote working and the organizational culture. So, where are the when we're looking into fundamental change, so what are the attributes? What are the important attributes for a fundamental change? When we are looking in newest research around behavioral science, neuroscience, different aspects of change, what makes the people actually change their behavior? There are some certain essential attributes that we can summarize in. For a change to happen, of course, you need to have a right skill set for it. So I change ability, the ability to change it, or the technology. You need to be motivated to change something, so the change capability, which is the ability and the motivation to get a capability to change something. And you have to create an urgency, necessity, or a value why you're changing. And last but not least, for a change to happen, it is also important to know what kind of environment we are changing. And the agility of an environment is definitely an important attribute of fundamental change. So the fundamental factors for any transformation are still the main factor will be always people. So people are at the end the end user of a new system. People are the users how creating new business processes and workflows, and people are will creating the environment and the culture. So we have to with all kinds of approaches in digital transformation. It's very important to take that into account, and I can say out of my own experience, thank God it has changed a lot. So concepts like change management principles that are more and more important factor that you can't anymore put beside. A few years ago, it was almost as a change manager, you would come in actually in very big organizations, you would engage a change manager, but in a smaller, medium-sized organization, that was not a thing. You wouldn't even know what is a change manager. But we can see right now that these kind of principles, human-centric principles, are more and more on vogue or useful. And that is good, beautiful to watch, because that at the end, when we don't take along the people and the end user to use a certain digital solution and help them along and incorporate them in the whole digital transformation journey, then we will lose the adoption or lose at the end the efforts that we are putting into rolling out a big system. So changeability, therefore, is for us a combined capacity which encompasses the skill set for motivation, agility, for the needed change. That is what we are understanding on the changeability. We are combining combined skill set, motivation, and the agility to for a needed change. So the success factor for digital transformation for us are based on that logic, the people and that culture, so that organizational changeability, business processes, process changeability, And last but not least, business information systems through system changeability. So all these three aspects of the organization on areas are very important to achieve or be successful in your digital transformation journey. In this webinar, I will concentrate in system changeability, but I'm very excited to announce that the upcoming webinars we will look into more and also to in process changeability and organizational changeability, especially organizational changeability, my favorite subject, where we're going to talk more about change management principles, how organizational culture, management culture, and all these let's say soft skill sets who are really important for adaptation of new systems in an organization. So system changeability and the new era of enterprise software. Let's have a little bit of a detour or a historic look into the fascinating history of software architecture. The concept of composable software architecture, which is the focus of our discussion today, has its roots in early 90s. Some of you may probably work in that area where you needed to kind of install new software on a hardware. I used to work as a student for a bank, a regional bank, developing databases for their call center. And I remember when I was developing the software, I needed actually to go to all the different workstations from the call center agents and install the new software on each hardware. And it was a huge time-consuming thing. And every time when you're updating, you have to look that they're in the same version. So it was so that's what we call a monolithic architecture. So it is pretty much capsured in hardware. The software is installed in there, and it's quite monolithic. So in the early 2000, they come along cloud architecture or network architecture. And this network architecture is actually a first building blocks has been already set in the 90s, where object-oriented programming languages, we like C++ or Java, were developed. And that revolutionized the idea at that time in a different way of programming software, different viewpoint of software architecture, which was more oriented on functions, capsuling data, and allowed for the first time to build software which is more modular and composable. So these were the first steps or milestones with the object-oriented programming languages. These kind of software solutions were enabled and were possible. So with the rise of the cloud architecture, like software as a service, fast forward, the service-oriented architecture, where you have more the hardware sitting somewhere on servers around the world, and you as an end user renting or leasing the software down through subscriptions and connecting to the services via a web browser. And you don't have to worry anymore about maintaining the hardware or worry about maintaining the versions of the software. This is all get done from the vendors that providing such a service. After this milestone cloud architecture, the main thing by the monolithic architecture and also by the cloud architecture, what comes to mind is organizational solutions were mostly very specialized solutions. For example, you had a solution for HR, you had a solution in finance, you may have a solution for your operations. All these different systems in the cloud or even in the organizational network were often not connected. They had different data storages mainly, and that's what I call island solutions, So that hasn't changed even in the cloud architecture. You had still, because the complexity of developing a customized software or all in one platform is probably too high, or the technology was not that far. So you were still had a lot of island solutions, but on the cloud. So you still have your HR solutions or finance solution that you can access through the cloud, but they are not talking to each other. They don't exchange data, and it's all kind of separated around, unless you put a lot of efforts in and develop our own connection, what we call API, to leveraging data. With 2020, this has changed. That has changed through no-code and composable technologies and architecture. It allowed developers and to develop quicker and be modular, and therefore it was more possible to creating complex system on one platform. And that's a huge change that has occurred since 2020. So we're seeing a lot of vendors, providers, they're putting on their flags, no code, low code. These are many big systems like SAP, they or CRMs like Salesforce. But there's a big, quite a difference on the approaches in the no-code and low-code, and I will come to that, how we can actually evaluate what is the best solution when it comes to no-code and composability. How can we evaluate a software solution in the customization level? But before we come to that, let's first explore what is composability. What is composable and what is no-code and low-code, tomatoes. Like, let's have a look into the definitions. So imagine you have Lego brick stones that you can build with different door color shapes. So you can build as you go your dream house with the bricks. So this is the same principle that is used in composable architecture. Composable architecture is quite similar to this Lego analogy. It's a way of designing computer systems where each part, like data storage or user interface, has its own separate block or module. Just like with Lego, you can add and replace or rearrange these parts without disrupting the entire system. And this makes it much easier to update, for example, to improve or customize the system based on the specific needs that you have. So the flexibility of a system increases immensely the flexibility of the system. No code is not a new concept. It exists, I think, in early 90s, and the first code generator hit the market, like WordPress. You might know WordPress was one of the first providers who used no code or low code to helping citizen developers building quick websites without any coding knowledge. You had a visual design layer where you can click different website modules together and design it together. So in principle, no code means that you are able to develop application without any coding knowledge, and you're able to assemble business apps, automating workflows without coding knowledge. And that's a huge change, specifically for non-for-profit sector, because we have, when I was working on the ground, I know how amazing a lot of experienced professionals in the ground. They know actually the workflows. They know very good the business processes. They know how to optimize the business processes, but they don't have the coding knowledge. With this technology, we can enable these professionals to include them into the development process and co-design a solution that fits their purpose and fits their organization best. So that is a huge change and quite an important factor when it comes to be successful in the digital transformation journey. So at the end, we can say no code empowers a subject matter expert to automate business processes or develop application without any coding knowledge. Composable and no-code architecture is a powerful tool, therefore, to leverage system changeability. System changeability is affected actually is the main factor is the customization, how the level of customization that would define the level of the system changeability. So how can no code development benefit the care sector? There are a lot of things that the health or social sector or non-for-profit sector can benefit from. High grade of customization level because of the specific requirements. For example, we have in the past we worked with the DV services. They have quite very changing requirements when it comes to reporting requirements, when it comes to and regulations, for example. For this kind of businesses or business organizations, when you're looking into the market for CRMs and finding a solution that fits their way of working, good luck with that. It's not existing. And if they exist, they are so rigid, not customizable. So that's one of the big pluses when you have no code and composable platform that you're using. Of course, it's cost effective because you're shortening the development process. As mentioned, empowering your professionals, incorporate them into the development process, co-designing with them. You can leverage data in your reporting system because you can develop actually own automation, perhaps, and you can collect data and predict data on that level. Client-centric through co-design, and you can adjust your system much quicker to regulatory compliances or changes in that area. So we have developed an assessment tool around that, around the question how we can evaluate best fit no code composable architecture. Again, driven from the idea working in that sector and looking in different system solutions over the year, market research, looking actually comparing different CRMs, comparing different low code and no code platforms. We developed based on that idea kind of an assessment tool to identify first the needs of our clients and then evaluate them in the changeability of the enterprise software and evaluate the different software to help them along with the procurement process, for example, comparing it with different vendors. It helps us to actually have a standard feature list to send to vendors, for example, to be answered in our request for proposal process. So we're offering this questionnaire or this assessment tool for free for non-for-profit. So if you are interested, ping us, let us know, and we're happy to provide this tool for you and hope it's going to help you to find the best fit solution. Coming to that, sorry. In summary, we can say a cutting-edge no-code platform allows composability of all business levels. And business units and processes, as well as it allows no-code configuration on all system levels. Again, for user interfaces, for workflows, allows customization of different modules. And that's the main learnings that we had over the years doing this matrix and evaluation process with for CRMs. So when we want to put that into a diagram and have a look, what are the composability factors? Composability factors can be, for example, defined through how many business units are out of the box offered in a solution, in a no-code solution or in a CRM. How wide range are the processes and tasks that are offered in a out-of-the-box function? and through that I can already compose the right solution. I'll give you a good example. SAP, I think one of the first, like they had different modules for HR, a module for finance, a module for production even. And in each module you had processes like project management, task management, request management, and you could build that in. A lot of no-code platforms, low-code platforms offering that, the composability of different modules, and depending on in which specific sector, but most of the big ones offering this composability module. But the question here is the grade and how many modules they're first offering. Another, I would like to suggest another dimension for the evaluation of no-code platforms, which I found most important, which is the no-code and customization degree. And I believe we can pin it down in when we're looking into system architecture levels. When, for example, on a user interface level, when the system allows me to customize it through no-code, like WordPress, it's a good example. It allows you to, on the user interface, to adjust a page very quickly without any coding knowledge. In the next level would be the business logic. Is the system allowing me through no code to automate or build my own business logic, or do I still need to code something for it or bring a coder in to do that for me? Does the system allows me to build add-ons and integrate to other systems without any coding knowledge? That's already a level where most of the vendors would kind of go aside and have not this capability. And last but not least, of course, AI and machine learning is a hot topic as well. Does it allow me to develop on or feed my system with machine learning models, prediction through no code? So these are the evaluation dimensions that you could use to evaluate the customizability or a system changeability of the solution that you're looking at. We have, through our evaluation matrix through years, starting with 2021, looking at different solutions, we finally found the right technology partner, which we're very happy to introduce in the next slides, which we've found has the highest level of system changeability. And I'm proud myself to say we discovered that in 2021, but if you're looking now into Forrester and Gartner quadrant in the last year, or even the recent ones, they have been acknowledging already on our technology partner as the best fit no-code platform, who are already challenging the big names like Salesforce and Microsoft Dynamics. So I'm very pleased to see that we were in that time already in the right path with evaluating Creatio as the best fit solution when it comes to no-code and composability. Why is that so? Because they have looking into our evaluation matrix, they're offering actually a solution which can be seen as a one platform can answer it all. So you can build with Creatio a organizational wide business information system that incorporates all your units into one data lake, into one data source and storage. And that can be a very powerful tool for later on to do predictions, reporting, and efficiency for your the way of information flows into your organization or out of your organization. It offers a lot of composable modules, components, blocks, building blocks, and applications that you can use to create your custom solution. And it offers a lot of templates that we currently also use for our clients to customize and fine tune for our clients. So these are the reasons that we are quite strong fans from Creatio platform as a system architect, course, it warms my heart to see actually from the 90s, from today, object-oriented programming principles are beautifully implemented in a system architecture that allows the high level of composability and customization. So how can it be built? It can be built in, as I said, components, which is the more when you need some adjustment. On all levels, as you can see, you can use no-code platform and incorporate Creatio capabilities to develop no-code. Okay, let's have a look into our case study example. So we are in our example is for client who has several remote councils providing youth programs to minimum 13 till more communities in Northern Territory, providing important youth services for Aboriginal communities. They have huge challenges when it comes to reporting system and gathering data, reporting data, and mainly they have the main challenge is, of course, to building a platform which can be used from several councils. Why? Because their participants and their clients, they're sharing principally clients and participants. So they have quite a movement around Northern Territory where the kids moving from one community to the other, and it makes sense to having a kind of a same participant status repository to be able to provide services and more direct services, and also able to collect data around the provided services in different regions. So that was one of the challenges. Then we have quite, and it's a need from high system changeability throughout the internal councils, because of their ways of, for example, reporting requirements might change and the way of they're working. So there's a high need of system changeability. We have to maintain data input is mainly done through mobile devices and communities. The internet is not always the best thing. It's getting better, but that's another challenge, that we need to incorporate mobile responsiveness and how we're designing the solution that helps the users to makes it easier to input data into the system. And the other challenge was the end user that using this youth worker mainly. They might English is sometimes the third language. There's a low digital literacy there. So the system has to have a very high level of usability, and that needs to be incorporated in the overall design and development of the solution. So what we have been offering to the councils is the development and custom CRM via Creatio service module, and we are co-designing, co-developing this solution together with our clients. It's actually very fun. We have very small, short development sprints where we are discussing the solution, even showcasing it with the UI designer, and discussing that through. And through that, we're getting also the engagement from the youth workers, because they can see the process of the development and getting excited. And as a change manager, of course, it warms my heart when I see engagement from end users. That makes my job or the organization's adaptability at the end easier, when we have already change agents or change promoters included into the development process. So I want to just show you have different levels. The Freedom UI Designer, based on our evolution in the matrix, remembering we have the customizable elements on the UI level. We have a no-code capability to define workflows, automation, and business logic. We have the capability through no code to even configure AI cases or prompts, or fill own machine learning models into the system. So before we are continuing, is there any question in the round? I'm just looking into the chat. Okay, wonderful. So I would like to now jump into the solution and one of the cases and show a little bit around. So just give you a live view on this no-code features of Creatio and how it's really, from the usability perspective, really easy for citizen developers to use and to customize. I'm not going to go into all the detailed features of the solution that we are right now currently building. If you are interested, happy to arrange a time where I showing you our current solution for the youth programs. But to give you an example, when we're talking about the UI level and the customization capability of Creatio, for example, we have here now developed, based on the module that already exists in Creatio, which is the contact brick or contact module. We customize that form to have different data fields, to have different views. In this case, we needed, our client needed this differentiation between employees, participants who are actually the clients, the kids that are taking part in the youth programs. They needed to see all the stakeholders, for example, funding bodies and funding accounts, in order to build the reportings that they needed. So we have created these different pages for them. Just jumping into one of them. For example, we customized that in the way that they're using right now, or their contact storage. That helps them also in the wording, in the understanding, to adapt to the new environment quicker. But to give you an example here, for on a UI level, if you wish to change something in this form, you would usually you have the feature to jump into the UI designer and use all the components and design elements here and change them on the fly. You can see how easy that is. I can do that even, and I'm doing that live with my clients, sometimes going in there and saying, okay, what are the wordings like, the titles? These are little changes that can immensely help when it comes to adoption of a new system. So that's one way Creatio helps with customization of the. There are you have also the when it comes to workflow and business process, you can build here also business logic into the pages, again without any coding knowledge, and these, as you can see, quite easy to understand. And I believe everybody can use this kind of tools to develop their own customized workflows and logic. Okay, that's so far in a short teaser how Creatio can help the composability of a system. Let's come back. So what are the takeaways from today? We established no-code and composable architecture is a powerful tool for leveraging digital transformation. No-code and composable architecture empowers special matter experts. It can give on the freedom to develop their own automations or even custom applications, or you can involve them as in your development as a client into your co-design and co-designing the solution with them. A significant evaluation factor is the level of composability and customization, which we call system changeability. And no-code development allows prototyping and delivers minimal viable product almost on demand. To give you a good example, in when 10, 15 years ago, when we would develop a software, mobile software for a client, you usually collect the requirements, have few rounds with your client, and you're pretty much disappearing in the dark development corner and developing the software. And then you will come out and then show it to the client. Probably when you 3 months, 6 months, depending on the complexity. So 3 to 6 months, it's quite a standard till you develop and deliver to the client. With no code and composable architect, you can do this in 2 weeks. And we have been experiencing that in a lot of projects. And that's a huge difference. Why? Because you can use the momentum of excitement when you're bringing a new software into the organization, and use the momentum of excitement to show them already what we are building. That's the minimal product. And it helps the clients to not having abstract models and abstract systems out there. Again, we are talking also to people that might not have a high digital literacy, and that's not their job. It's our job to explain. So it is a very helpful tool to see and touch how the system actually reacts and behaves in order to collect or detail their requirements and further customize and fine-tune the system. And through co-designing, fast prototyping involving staff, through that we will increase organizational changeability and reduce change resistance. Thank you very much for your time. My name is Maria Moradi, and I would like to go with my favorite poem from Rumi. Yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I'm wise, so I'm changing myself. I would like to thank you all to coming. I hope I see you in the next webinars, where we're going to talk more about process changeability and organizational changeability, which I'm personally very excited about. Wish you a wonderful, pleasant Friday and wonderful weekend. Thank you very much.